welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. I'm JC, contemporary fiction author and poet. I post videos here on Mondays and Fridays. I live stream on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have a blog, an online magazine, an online store for item merch. Patreon you can become a member of, a Ko-fi you can tip me on, and I have 6 books, 3 novels, 3 poetry collections available on Amazon or to read in Kindle Unlimited. And yeah, so now that I've gotten that out of the way, as you can see, this is going to be a car chat video, which I will admit mostly is because the video that I wanted to do I do not have prepared because my brain is mush this week, and it was a brainstorm with me video, and I haven't really been writing this week, largely because my brain is mush. And I don't know if it's because I might possibly be approaching burnout, and that I guess that it brings me to the point of this video is, am I approaching burnout, the burnout stage, and I just don't realize it, or am in denial. We're going to go on a little ride, a little adventure. So I'll let the cars pass me. So I did put some bullet points together, although I don't think I actually need them, but I put them together anyway. Really, just flying through there, huh? I was gonna give me some Starbucks, but now I don't think I want to. So I don't know if this started by there. I didn't go anywhere. Okay, so I got in an argument with my mother on Saturday, which caused a little bit of emotional turmoil in my mental, because, you know, if you have been following along, you know my mother and I do not get along. There's trauma there, past childhood issues, things of that nature, and my mom is like a narcissist who has zero compassion for people. So particularly her own daughter. So there was an argument, some dismissiveness of my anxiety and stuff like that, and I like to think that I got past it fairly quickly, but apparently I did not, because it kind of carried over into Monday, and led to me not writing for Monday. But when we got to the rest of the days of the week, I don't know if I can really say that should be the issue. I feel like I have been pretty steady writing, for the most part, a lot this year, and I don't know, and I've taken self-imposed breaks after certain projects were done, and breaks that I thought was needed after each project was completed or whatnot. And so I thought that was my way of avoiding burnout, because, you know, I can avoid burnout if I, you know, have breaks that I have self-imposed myself, and you know, avoid this and take a creative reset and everything. I thought that would be helpful. But this week I feel like it's not, and it also could be I am on my period this week, so I don't know if that also is playing a factor in it as well. And how I've been feeling this week, it's just like I've been trying to write, and my brain has just not been cooperating with me. And one second, I'll be right back. So okay, I'm back, sorry. So that's the thing. It's been a minute since I've experienced full-on burnout, I will say the last time I experienced a period of not being able to write, it wasn't burnout so much as a deep bout of depression. And I mean, I am depressed, so we're not gonna bypass the fact that because of the situation that I'm in and because of where I'm at, and it's not a good place emotionally for me to be here, that does make me a little depressed regularly. But I don't feel like I'm slipping into a deep bout of depression, so I don't think that's it. And then that makes me wonder, did I ever really know what burnout was? So I'm like, could this be burnout and I'd just be in denial? Or could this be my period and I'll be over it by next week? But then that brought forth other questions of, okay, so I'm not feeling it this week, and this just ended up being a week where I did mostly reading and other, creative things or whatever. So why do I feel guilty? And should we feel guilty when we have periods where we're just not able to create at that moment? And is that what drives us into burnout? Is not leaning into the moments where we need to rest and take a minute, take a break, and go ahead and lean into that, and instead push ourselves. Because I did write this week a little bit. It was 315 words, and I really pushed myself to write those words because I felt like I had to. And I didn't feel good about what I wrote wasn't crap, but I didn't feel good after that writing session, particularly because I felt like I was really pushing myself and I shouldn't have been. And I'm like, but I'm supposed to write 5 days a week at least. I already don't write on the weekends, so I can't not write at all during the week. That's just, that would make me lazy, and that would make me not as productive as I want to be. And I have so much I want to get done this year and next year, and I can't get all that done if I'm not producing and I'm not writing. And so then it's like, well, why do I feel this way? Why am I feeling this guilty? Is it me? Am I putting pressure on my own self, or is it an invisible pressure I'm feeling from society? Because really nobody in society is thinking about me, and it's not really anyone putting any kind of real pressure on me. But in my mind, society is putting pressure on me, because if I don't look like I'm doing something, if I don't look like I'm producing something and writing words, then am I just going to be seen to the average person looking in at my situation and be seen as lazy? And so, like, is it a fear that I'll think that, I don't know. And like, am I not am I the problem, but is it a thing society is placing pressure on me, or am I placing pressure on myself? And it's because of expectations I feel are there, but they're not really there. I just feel that they're there. I don't know. I'm probably just rambling at this point, but I feel disappointed, and I know I shouldn't feel that way. And I'm trying to, I guess, me talking this out with you guys is me trying to analyze why I feel disappointed in myself for not writing. And should I feel disappointed? Should I just, be okay with the fact that this week just wasn't a good week? I had some emotional things going on, my period, pain issues. And so it hasn't been the greatest week. And should I just let it be that and not put pressure on myself? Or do I need to rethink the structure in which I write? Do I need to do 1 week on and 1 week off? Is that going to put me in a better balance mentally? And is that going to put me in a better headspace? But then no, because then I would miss writing if I did that. If the 1 week on, 1 week off thing. I don't know. I suppose this is just me kind of rambling to you guys. Like, how am I supposed to know whether this is burnout? Maybe that is my overall question. Is this burnout? am I approaching burnout? Have I been putting too much pressure on myself? I don't know. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so now we got to this stoplight. Because, okay, so here's the thing. I put out a book in June, but if you remember my goals at the beginning of the year, I wanted to at least put out 2 books. And that didn't include my poetry and essay collection. So 3 total. And, oh, didn't know that was there. Whee! Sorry. Piece of lint from the towel. But I don't think in any way, shape, or form am I going to get that many books out. I don't even know that I'm going to get the poetry and essay collection out. And I'm like, so does that mean I'm not doing enough? Or I feel like I've been so lazy this week. And I've been doing beta reading. And I've been doing like regular reading. But, you know, that's not writing. But my brain has just been mush this week. And I don't know if I've ever experienced burnout. I've experienced deep bouts of depression in which I've had severe writer's block because of that depression. But burnout, I know, is something completely different. And I'm not sure that I've ever experienced burnout. Is this burnout? Is this what I'm feeling? I really don't know. And if that's the case, then does that mean I get to feel less guilty? But again, and the police car in front of me is just, I need you not, let me be far away from you, because I definitely don't need that smoke right now. So it's like, do I feel guilty? I mean, should I feel guilty? I do feel guilty. That's just, I feel how I feel. I feel guilty. But because I feel like I should be writing, and I should have been writing this whole week, and I should have just pushed myself to do it. Although when I tried to push myself to do it, it did not make me feel great. It made my brain feel even more like goo. And I just, it just makes me wonder, why do we put this pressure on ourselves as writers? I know I can't be the only one that does this, that feels guilty when I don't write. Or like, if I'm not writing, I should be. 1 second, right back. Okay, now that I am stationary. I don't know. Apologies for my rambles. I'm just trying to figure some things out. And I guess I'm trying to figure it out with you guys. Because I used to write a lot more than I do now. I used to write almost nonstop all day, and I used to be able to have long writing sessions for hours and hours, and like here lately I just can't do that anymore, for one reason or another. Pain, wrist pain, brain, not fogginess, but maybe I don't know. I don't wish I knew what burnout felt like. But because I don't know what burnout feels like, I'm like, is this burnout? And what do you do when, like, do you lean into it? Because, I mean, I imagine if I was a traditionally published author on a deadline, burnout I couldn't lean into that. I couldn't not write. So I'm like trying to figure out how to make actionable steps to not have a week like this again, or at least maybe to take away some of the guilt. And I know I shouldn't feel guilty, because I feel like I've been vastly productive for most of this year. I've taken some self-imposed breaks when I felt like I needed them. I don't know what happened, but I don't know what happened this week. This week, my brain just really felt like mush. Like I really felt like I couldn't conjure up the words I needed to conjure up this week. And I don't know that I've really felt like that before. There have been times where sure I didn't want to write just because I just didn't feel like writing. And sometimes I would write anyway, and it would be a really great writing session, even though I didn't want to write. And other times it not so great, but my brain didn't feel like mush, like just everything is just garbled up or something. I don't know. I'm not making any sense probably, but I guess I wanted to make this rambly car chat video in case someone else out there might be feeling half of what I'm feeling or similar to what I'm feeling, and they can know they're not alone. And also, if you know the answer, am I experiencing burnout? Is that what this is? Please tell me. How do I fix the brain mushiness? Will it fix itself? I don't know. But now that I've reached my destination, I'm going to end this rambly car chat video, and hope it made some sense. But that's going to be it for this video. If you like what you see and you want to see more videos from me, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button. I post videos on Mondays and Fridays. I live stream on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as per usual, if you would like to be supportive of me in any of my creative endeavors, such as my blog, my online magazine, my online store with writer merch, becoming a member of my Patreon, tipping me on my Ko-fi, buying my books on Amazon, or reading them in Kindle Unlimited, all of those things can be found in the description box below. And until next time, take care of yourselves and have a blessed day. Bye. Why are all these electrical trucks out here? What is going on?